what's going on, winners? This is Coach JC, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the Win All Day podcast show. I am super stoked right now. I have an amazing guest in the house today. Actually, I'm going to bring him on the screen now just because he's so good looking. He makes me look good. So I'm going to bring him on the screen right now. But before I do introduce him, if you're a frequent listener, then you know what time it is. It's time for our Win All Day winning confession. We believe that if you want to live a winning life, then you've got to speak words, uplifting words and positive words and winning words. So you know what you got to do? Just repeat after me. Today is my day. Nothing will get in my way of me being the best version of me. I am here on purpose. I have a purpose. I am strong. I am passionate. I am fearless. I choose faith. I am a winner. I will win and win all day. Let's go. Welcome to the Win All Day podcast show. My main man, Alex Morton. What's up, baby?
Wow, man. Well, it's almost midnight over here in Indonesia, but I feel like I can start the day now after that right there. So I appreciate that energy and definitely excited to be here and, hopefully impact some people in a positive way.
I know we will, man. I know we will. I've had many people reach out within our Win All Day family and said, man, you got to connect with Alex. I know we've been connected on Instagram, but a lot of people want to hear you on the podcast. So I know you're a best-selling author, an amazing speaker. You have traveled the country, the world. You're a momentum catalyst. You've got an event that's just crushing it. Break the code event. And man, I want to talk business today. I want to talk life today. I want to talk mindset today. And I know that there's people on the other side that will win and increase their winning percentage after this podcast and this episode. So, hey, without further ado, man, do this for us, brother. Just give an informal introduction about yourself, where you come from, and how'd you get started, and how did we get to where we are today, brother?
Yeah, well, I was born in Houston, Texas. Middle class America. I tell everybody at a very young age, I saw work ethic, between my mom and my dad. My mom at one time was sweeping floors in a hair salon while raising, me and my little sister. My dad has been in insurance for, he was in insurance for over 12 years, did very, very well. But I always watch, dad get up at 7 a.m. with a shirt and a tie on, leave the house, go to work, basically when the sun was down, and he would come home when the sun was down. And I always just saw my mom work hard, whether it was with, my sister and I, or working with my dad in the insurance office, or like I said, doing the whole hair salon thing, for a couple years in Texas. So as a young kid, I just looked at hard work and, positive attitude, different things, and just assumed it was normal. And I feel like that was one of my, secret codes as a little kid, because, when you're little, whatever you see, you believe. So I saw work ethic, I saw positive attitude, I saw this win all day, I guess we could say, mentality. And I always knew that I was going to do something in business. So I actually grew up in Ohio in a very small town. So born in Houston, grew up in Bexley, Ohio. No one's ever heard of it. 2 ice cream shops, 2 pizzerias, right? So in the Midwest, I saw rich people, I saw poor people, and I saw, us right in the middle. And I made a decision at a very young age. I said, one day I'm going to find out how people, got wealthy, and I'm going to do what it is they did to achieve that result. And I could go on and on and on and on about my childhood and all these different things. But, I guess some of the little cliff notes is, I grew up with Tony Robbins tapes being played in the house. I tell everybody, some kids were given storybooks growing up of The Lion King and, Cinderella and stuff. I had Rich Dad, Poor Dad, like in 3rd grade. I was playing Cash Flow Quadrant in 7th grade, right? So I got the cheat code to entrepreneurial success at a very young age.
Wow, I love it, bro. I love it, man. And so you're saying your parents actually had you listening to Tony Robbins?
Yeah. So my mom actually worked for Tony for a short amount of time. But then when they were in the insurance business, there was a lot of Zig Ziglar. There was a lot of Earl Nightingale. Obviously, later on in my journey, I met my mentor and coach, Bob Proctor. But before that, I was getting preconditioned. Even, Donald Trump, long before he became president, he was this big real estate tycoon, author. And I remember my dad gave me a book called Think Big and Kick Ass. And in high school, I actually had Think Big and Kick Ass inside of my biology book. And I did okay in school. I never excelled in school, but I was getting my mind conditioned for financial abundance at a very young age. And at 18, I went to Arizona State University. I left everybody I knew and everything I knew. I moved west. I got involved in real estate as a real estate agent. And then I fell into, direct sales, network marketing, and things just went crazy. And now I'm 33. I actually turned 33 a couple of days ago. And I look back and I say, it's been a crazy journey, 76 countries around the world,
Wow.
2 billion plus in sales, just having a lot of fun, helping a lot of people.
I love it, bro. I love it. I love it. I love it. Man, Tony Robbins was instrumental as a mentor of mine in changing my life when I threw away my basketball opportunity, went from New Jersey to Oklahoma in 1999.
Wow.
And got a young girl on campus pregnant in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Make a long story short, they said, hurry up and get married. We're married. We're divorced in 8 months. I ended up suicidal, $400,000 in debt in a custody battle, fighting to be a dad. I enrolled in a Bible school in Tulsa. I got a hold of Tony Robbins, and the Bible and personal development radically changed my life. And then, it's funny you mentioned Trump, because I was blessed to open up for him when he was running for president on one of his campaigns in front of 14,000 people. So I'm very familiar with Think Big and Kick Ass, the book.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah.
That was dope, man. So as a speaker, I know you like that. So real quick, you said something I don't want people to miss right now, because the goal, I want people to hear your story and be inspired and empowered. But you said something, you said what you see, you believe as a young age, right? And so if you're listening right now, I don't want you to think that's just a young age thing, because there's some of you on this call today that I believe through Alex's story and his words that you're going to get your vision back. That's what came to me when you were saying that. And I think there's people, Alex, even when they're older and they're mature, 30, 40, 50, life happens to them and they see it as that, right? Rather than life happened for them perspective. And all of a sudden it changes their vision and they start to they show up blinded. And so I ask you today on this call, what are you seeing right now for your life, for your body, for your bank account, for your business, for your career, for your mission? Because what Alex said can radically change your life. What you look for, you will find. What you see, you believe. And today I want to challenge you, if you're listening, you got to stop seeing just what you see in the natural. You got to start to see what no one else can see for your life. You got to start seeing what you can do that you've never done. You got to start seeing who you can be that you've never been. You got to start seeing where you can go that you've never gone. I do not want you to miss that powerful statement that Alex said. So super dope, man. Thanks for sharing that, brother.
Of course, one of the things that I teach is this whole idea of, your belief system. And basically the 3 pillars of that is, what we see, what we hear, and what we experience shapes this thing we call a paradigm, which controls every single thing, facet of our lives is controlled by this paradigm that causes us to think certain things, feel certain things, and take certain actions. So if people can just get that part just right there, can allow them to win at a whole nother level than they currently are right now.
Yeah, I love it, man. And like you create a story, right? Or what you're saying is basically when life happens and we experience these things from what we see and what we hear and what we experience, we start to create a narrative, right? We start to, Tony Robbins said this, the meaning of anything in life only has the meaning who? You choose to give it. Right. And so let's talk about that, man. Like you created this story from what you were seeing, hearing, experiencing at a young age about I'm going to create abundance, right? I'm going to break free from, I saw this work ethic, but I'm going to go get financially free. And so fast track us now, man. Like, how did you do that? What's some of the steps you took? Obviously, you're in network marketing now, but you also have the brand Alex Morton Mindset. Right. Every action resonates with a thought. So mindset was a big part of it. Work ethic was a big part of it. But give us some of those codes, man, that you implemented.
So I'm 18 years old. I'm going to Arizona State. There's 80,000 kids on campus. Right. I'm from this tiny little, town. So I'm like freaking out. Pretty much. I'm partying all the time because it's just different world over there in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm 18, having fun, but I always have this idea and thought becoming a millionaire. When I was a senior in high school, every kid wrote down what college you're going to and what you're majoring in. And I thought it was cute or funny at the time. In front of the entire school, I write Alex Morton, Arizona State, majoring in becoming a millionaire at 25 years old. But I was writing it down. I was speaking it. I was affirming it. And obviously I did that. But I was 18 and I was sitting in my dorm room and my mom called me and said, "Hey, I want you to turn on Bravo TV tonight. There's this new real estate show. These guys look like you. They talk like you. They're making money. Just turn it on. And it's $1 million listing." Yeah. I can't make this stuff up. I watched the show and the next day, like literally the next day, I have no car. I don't have much money at all. I call discount cab and I take a cab at 18 years old to the Real Estate Learning Center in Mesa, Arizona. I skipped a class that day. I walk in, and the front desk girl's like, who are you? Are your parents in here getting their license? And I said, no, I want some information. And I guess I look younger than 18 because you have to be 18 to legally get your license. And she said, son, go back to college, finish, and then come back and see me. And I said, well, I read you guys online and you can be 18 years old and get your real estate license. She said, we've never had an 18-year-old do that. I said, well, today's your lucky day. I'm gonna be the first one, right? So I enroll into this real estate learning center. I pay a bunch of money I don't have. And it's all these courses and stuff. Super long story short, it takes me a long time to do the 90 hours in person and then pass all these dang exams. But I eventually do. I get my license and I start hustling, rentals in Tempe, Scottsdale, Mesa. I was kind of in the gray area. I'll take other agents' listings and I would put them on like postlets.com and Craigslist. I would market it as my listing. They would call me and then I would show the property and close the deal. So I wasn't making, quote, big money, but for me, making a $600, $800, $2,000 check, it was like millions back in the day, right? So I do that from like 18 to 21. I'm still in school. And then I get a phone call one day from my dad's good friend. And he said, hey, I want you to come to this meeting. And, I show up and I think it's too good to be true. It's a scam. It's a pyramid. It's this and it's that. And I get involved in network marketing. And then, my whole life completely radically changes. And now I've been doing that, right, for the last almost 12 years, pretty much full time up until COVID, traveling every 72 hours in a different city, state, or country. And just life's been amazing, man. Yeah.
I love it, bro. And so let's stay there for a second, right? Let's talk about the network marketing. So not only did you get involved in network marketing, right? A lot of people get involved in network marketing, but you moved up and now you're a top producer within your company in the network marketing world, correct?
Yeah. I mean, top 1 or 2 in the world. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what can you talk a little about the network marketing you're involved in?
Yeah, so I started off in health and wellness with a company with like mangosteen from Southeast Asia, blah, 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 blah. I had no idea what this stuff was, but I go to a meeting and I'm sitting there at 21. I'm making very little amount of money per month. I'm graduating college in 24 months. The teachers are telling me I'm going to go take a job with my little degree for $36,000 a year, $46,000 a year. If I kiss my boss's ass, I'll get to 6 figures by, 35. And I'm thinking, I mean, honest to God, right? We're going to keep it super, super real here because that's the person I am. I'd rather get hit by a bus than go clock in a 9 to 5, especially when I was 21 years old. To me, that was like death, right? So I felt this pressure of like, I need to make money. I need to build a business. I need to do something. And I see a 25-year-old kid making $40,000 a month, Breitling diamond watch, Louis Vuitton backpack, true story. And I said, I thought it was too good to be true. But when I met him, I said, is this? And he had taken 10 grand. I said, show me 10 grand a week. It's like the Wolf of Wall Street story, right? He pulls up $10,000 per week. I said, I'm all in, teach me what to do. And then fast forward about 18 months, I was the youngest and fastest ever in that company to make $1 million. Went to another health and wellness deal. And then in 2016, my whole life changed again because I found digital and I found financial services, kind of like MILET with WFG, but this is based on Forex, digital currency, e-commerce, travel, just everything digital education. And it's just been a rocket ship since 2016.
I love it, bro. We love Ed Milet. He was on the show, man. He's a big fan of ours. And so tell me this, man, like you are now having what you saw, right? And that's to be a millionaire, to have abundance. How much of that would you contribute? Obviously, your Instagram handle's Alex Morton Mindset. You're now speaking on some of the largest stages, not just about the business and network marketing, but motivating, inspiring, encouraging other people to do what you did. Yeah. And I think a lot of that, we call it the winning mindset. It's a form that I created. I've got a whole playbook around it where we go in and build people, and it starts with mindset. How much of this success for you and you winning would you contribute to this thing right here?
Yeah, I mean, mindset's not everything, but it's pretty much the only thing. And I say that because anybody can learn how to open up a prospect, sale, present, close, male, female, black, white, Muslim, Jewish, atheist. It really doesn't matter. Everybody can learn the skill sets on how to excel in selling, whether it's, solar, real estate, vitamins and minerals, whether it's financial education, whether it's books or programs, it really doesn't matter. But 90 to 95% to me, in winning in business, winning in life, it's your mentality, it's your attitude, it's your self-image, it's how you see yourself. And I look a lot at, the movie Matrix, right?
Yeah.
And in that movie, it really shows us how we can create whatever we want to create. We can walk on walls, we can dodge bullets, we can catch bullets, right? We can be the Neo of our own life. And once I burn that in my mind, that I have the power to create, because I am a spawn of the creator, which is perfection. So perfection is in me, it's in every single one of your listeners. Then I kind of took off the cap or the lid on my potential and what I really could create at a young age. That's why I've been able to do what I've been able to do and not even be 35 years old, because I didn't let age hold me back. I didn't let he went to Arizona State, not Harvard, hold me back. Oh, his family isn't a Rothschild or Rockefeller family, hold me back. Because all that stuff are these, negative stories and narratives that have nothing to do, right? Like and I'll stop here. I'll give it back to you. Will Smith said, where you are today has nothing to do with where you're going tomorrow. And I fully and firmly believe that, in my life so far has been a testimony to the fact that we as human beings can create whatever it is we want to create on the planet.
Huge. I love it, bro. I love it. And I think you said some other thing, like you said, you have to earlier, you see, you hear, and you experience things, right? And so now we're talking self-esteem and self-image. Self-esteem, how I view me, how you view you, right? How the listener, the viewer right now views themselves directly affects your self-image. Self-image is how I believe the world views me, right? And so that leads to confidence, that leads to how you show up. And so there's a word that comes to me when you're speaking, like, and it's faith. Like, now I'm not talking from a religious perspective, but faith to believe and not be moved by what you see in the natural. And so I tell people all the time, like, you create faith, right? And so talk about that for a second. You talked about hearing, and I think one of the greatest ways to create faith is what you hear. But did you have like confessions? Were you speaking these things and calling these things into existence as well, to create this environment that you produced?
Yeah, everything. I mean, before I was driving a 650 white BMW with red seats, it was the screensaver of my cell phone. Before I bought a Rolls-Royce Wraith Cash, it was the background of my computer. Before I bought a Rolls-Royce Cullinan truck, it was on my wall. Before I lived in Porsche Tower in Miami, Florida, it was on my wall. So literally my entire life, I saw it all in my mind. I got pictures for it, and I became thoroughly obsessed with the attainment of whatever it is, whatever that was. Back in the day, it was a car, and then it was a home. My wife and I are building a dream home in Vegas. I went and walked open houses in Vegas and $5 million homes when I didn't have enough money to buy the land it was built on. I told my mom, drive me over here. I mean, truth, we walked through homes that I didn't have the money to buy the damn dirt to put the house on. 7 years later, we're building the house down the street from the open house that I walked in.
Come on, bro.
When I was broke, right? So I know I still get chills today. So to answer your question, all of it, right? All of it. I wrote it down. I saw it. I spoke it. If you interview some of my college friends back in the day, they would say, Alex was insane. He would walk around the house. He would talk to himself. He would stare at the compensation plan chart on the wall. He would be doing affirmations. I am healthy. I'm abundant. I am wealthy. Right. And then all the way up into the woman I married, I saw this person in my mind, the qualities, the attributes, everything. So this isn't like maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. No, I believe this 100% works 100% of the time. And the universe doesn't care about our opinions on it. This whole manifesting things into reality, it is 100% fact, like the law of gravity.
Bro, I love it, man. I know somebody is absolutely shifting their perspective and their mindset today, because how many people, Alex, have you seen? And you know this in the network marketing world, you've crossed paths with many people, right, that have had great success, and they've walked out what you told them to walk out, and they've done what you told them to do, and they followed the blueprint. And then you see the people that don't succeed, right? And the opposite of faith is what cripples us, and that's fear. How many people are crippled every single day by fear? How did you, besides the winning confessions, besides things, how did you just suffocate fear, man? Obviously, there was times where you're scared. Obviously, there were times where there was doubt. We all have that, right? How did you bust through those times of fear and build and create what you've done today?
Yeah, and there were tough times. I tell people I went from rock bottom to rock star back down to rock bottom, and now I am where I am today. So there were definitely moments in my career where I was crying myself to sleep.
Yeah.
I was having anxiety attacks. I thought I was having heart attacks. Obviously they weren't. They were just anxiety attacks. On my knees, crying, praying to God, give me one more chance. So it's not like I have this rocket ship, 12 years, unbelievable, Derek Jeter, Michael Jordan. There were definitely, ups and downs and dark moments and, moments of amazing triumph. But for me, and this doesn't work for everybody, but for me, I've always done this thing where I put myself like against the wall, right? Because when our backs are against the wall, the only place we can go is forward. So after my first company, and I was getting, crazy stuff. Like somebody tweeted at me and said, I hope you and your family die in a car crash. I mean, they got really, really ugly and really, really bad for a while there. But whenever I had fear, I always just told myself, your back's against the wall. The only place you can go was forward. So mentally, I would create these like mental constructs of it might be bad today, but it's going to be better tomorrow. If you can look up, you can get up. So even though I was maybe scared or I had anxiety about the next project or the next thing, or I had self-doubt, I always told myself if I can do it once, I can do it again. Because it's kind of like Tom Brady. Wherever Tom Brady goes, there he is. Wherever LeBron James goes, there he won in Miami, he won in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I always told myself, listen, fear, false evidence appearing real. Most of the crap we're scared of, it's not even real. Never even happens. Never even happens, right? So the people listening right now, whatever you're scared of, 9 times out of 10, it's never even going to come to fruition in the physical reality. So let it go, move on, and replace that negative with a positive image of you actually accomplishing your goals.
I love it, bro. I love it. I love it. And if you're listening today, like understand this, like you just said something so powerful. You put your back against the wall. You created a do or die sense of urgency, sink or swim moment, and you shifted your perspective. Once again, the meaning of anything in life only has the meaning we choose to give it. So I think you choose today as a viewer, as a listener, am I going to continue to operate in fear or am I going to operate in faith? And faith you created. One of the greatest ways to create faith is take action in the midst of fear. Another great way we talked about earlier is what comes out of your mouth. Guys, one of the most powerful tools you have, you heard Alex talk about, he called all these things that he has today into existence. You've got to understand, you have to create faith in your words. Your words create your life. So if you're listening today, check your words. Just like a sword, a two-edged sword. I'll never forget seeing somebody do an analogy on stage. I was actually emceeing an event, and this guy brought out a sword, and he talked about you can create your dreams, and you could also destroy them with what comes out of your mouth. Your words can create a living dream or a living hell for your life. Your words have the power, one word, like in my Let's Say the Power One, can have the power to change your entire life. Alex, now you're on a mission to help other people do the same, right? Obviously, your mission changed. You acquired, you got, you conquered, you achieved, and now you're on a mission to help other people do the same. And I want you to answer this because this is powerful for me. I was talking with somebody yesterday. I'm involved in real estate as well, and they have a nice portfolio, but they're unfulfilled, right? Making all the money in the world, unfulfilled. My life's a little different, right? I'm not, the multi-millionaire over here. I do well, but I'm super fulfilled, passion-driven, purpose. I get to do what I love, change lives, coaching, mastermind, speaking. And I was thinking about it. To me, this is so much more satisfaction. And everybody's not the same, but you could acquire, right? Once you got to where you got and you said, I'm good financially, I'm a millionaire, I'm not going to stop. But now my mission shifted. Talk about the mission and how it shifted and when it shifted.
Yeah.
And now the motivation to go help liberate and set other people free by creating financial wealth.
Absolutely. I tell people, listen, when you're 18, 21 or 31, 41, whatever it is, you never had like super nice things. Like you want a pair of Gucci shoes, you want a Louis Vuitton belt, you want this stuff. And once you get the stuff, you realize it really is just stuff. And I tell people, if you don't believe me, go ahead and find out on your own. Right. I never, I wanted this watch so bad, this Richard Mille watch. I fly to New York. My buddy's a big jeweler over there. And, I spend $250,000 on a watch. I celebrate my 10-year anniversary in network marketing. I've done well, right? So I get this watch and it's amazing. It's great. But I tell everybody, man, 90 days later, 6 months later, 12 months later, it's just a watch. And, you get a Rolls Royce, right? And you're like, no eating, no drinking, no sweating, no nothing in the car, right? Yeah. I'm getting out of a sauna, soaking my leather seats in the car because it's just the car, right? So for me, it took me, 28, 29, 30, hitting a certain point, and then you realize, the secret to living really is giving. And I know a lot of people have said that, but I agree with it. For me, it's a little bit different and it's deep, because you go back to Andrew Carnegie, the wealthiest man ever at one point, right? He mentored Napoleon Hill, had him write Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon, you're not going to make any money on this for, decades, but this is what I want you to do. You got, 60 seconds to tell me yes or no, right? Napoleon Hill leads to Earl Nightingale, right? Earl Nightingale hires young Bob Proctor, right? And then Bob Proctor meets me. I'm making $400 per month at 21 years old. And we talk every day until the day he drops dead.
Wow.
Last year, mentoring me. And then we were going to do this event to get this Break the Code event. We were going to do it together. We had a contract about to be signed in Vegas, and he passes away, and it just ignites this fire in me. I said, you know what, if I can't do it with my mentor, I'm going to do it with people that I learned from today. The Grant Cardones, the Ed Milet's, the Rob Dyrdeks, right? That's where the Break the Code event, came from, to be honest. So for me, it's all about purpose. Now, obviously, I want to acquire more real estate. My wife is a business lawyer, so we're buying international real estate everywhere. I still love making money. I'm not going to say I don't love making money, but it's so much deeper than that. I'm so blessed and grateful that I get to do what I love every single day. And that's helping people, really helping and impacting people. And now I have this big weight on my shoulder of Bob saying, you got to carry this torch for the rest of your life. Right. So now I feel so devoted, I guess you could say, to carrying that legacy on now into the next generation. So it's all about giving. It's all about service. It's all about contribution. And those are the things that make you feel the most fulfilled. For me now, it's my wife, it's my family, and it's my, it's really not even network marketing. It's really my brand in the lives that I've been able to touch in 76 countries around the world. Whether it pays me 100 million or it pays me $10, I know I'm making a difference all over the world.
Man, I love it, bro. I love it. You said so many things that are powerful that could change somebody's life there. Number one, I want you to hear this if you're listening. You mentioned some powerful names, right? Andrew Carnegie, Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale, Bob Proctor. We mentioned Tony Robbins, Ed Milet. If you're listening right now, one of the greatest things you could possibly do, and I was an ex-athlete. When I went through what I went through and I create a formula and a playbook, Alex, I realized all athletes have three things that make them successful. You have a coach, you have a playbook, and you have teammates, right? And so I realize most people go through life with no coach, no mentor. And so if you're listening right now, you don't have to have a mentor like Alex had in person or me. There was times in my life where maybe I didn't have access to Tony Robbins. I didn't have access to Ed Milet, but I read what they were putting out. I absorbed every video I could see, right? And so right now, make sure you're allowing those people that he mentioned, and even Alex, get to his Instagram, allow him to speak life into you. You don't need to meet him one-on-one for him to change your life or for him to be a mentor, right? That's number one. Number two, you said something powerful, because we're involved in real estate and we did something, Alex. We created a company. It's called Equity with Purpose. And we're acquiring commercial real estate, retail and multifamily. And I was like, man, you know what? For me, I always have to have a strong why behind it. There's got to be a purpose, right? And so now every deal we do, me and my partner, it's so dope, right? We go get investors. They give money. That's great. We make them return. But here's the power. The power is every deal we do, we nominate throughout the investor pool. We nominate one person that otherwise would not be able to get involved in real estate. And we coach him, not to give him a handout, but a hand up. And whatever we can get him to put into the fund, we have the investors match it, and we take somebody along with us. That's what greatness is, right? And so we help somebody else win. We don't let them pull out the seed and eat it, right? We show them how it's compounding interest, but over 3 to 5 years, you could change the entire trajectory of your life. And so now we have purpose behind it, and that's what drives the mission to buy more, to do more. Investors are on board. They're excited like they never were before, because they're like, I was making returns on my money, but now this is such a purpose-driven mission. I get to make a return. I get to help somebody else, right? So Alex, do this, man. Tell us real quick, Break the Code event. What is Break the Code? What code are we trying to break here? And what is this event about, brother?
Everything, man. I'm bringing in, a good friend named Gary Brecka. I invested in him when nobody believed in what his vision was. And now he's on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. He's coaching Dana White. He's coaching David Beckham. I mean, it's crazy, right? So health standpoint, real estate, obviously Grant Cardone, this young guy, Pace Morby, who's crushing it in real estate. So basically, I gather people together that all kind of have different pillars of success, because what I teach is what my mentor taught me, right? Obviously, there's marketing, there's sales, there's mindset, but it's really the information that allowed me to go from $400 a month to, where I am today, right? But then I said, you know what, I don't want it to be just me. I want to bring in, people that are quote unquote mentors to me. Rob Dyrdek has given me a lot of great advice over the years, not just business, but really family. You look at him on Instagram, him and his wife and their kids, and the way he's built his life and his schedule, right? To always be there for the kids and the wife and the businesses, and filming a million TV show, ridiculous.
Dude, so dope, bro.
every third day, right? Grant Cardone, we've been friends now for, my gosh, I think like since 2014 now. So he's coming in. Ed Milet has been a mentor from afar. I'm bringing the #1 female in the world in network marketing, Stormy Wellington. So we've got a lot of great people, but what the weekend is going to be is I wanted to create something that it's not just for the millennials, but obviously being 32 years old, I don't see a lot of young men or women really doing things on a massive, like insane level. Because a lot of people, 10X Growth Con is amazing, right? I love it. I spoke there a couple years ago at the Marlins Arena. I said, I want to build something like that. But obviously for right now, it's going to be a little bit more intimate. It's not going to be 30,000 people in the Marlins Park Arena, but I'm going to start this Break the Code event, and I'm going to teach people really how to break the code on health, wealth, love. I just celebrated 3 years. Today actually is our anniversary, which is crazy. And I'm talking to you. That's how committed I am to this, right?
Congrats, bro. Congrats.
Thank you, man. Thank you. So Miami, Florida, and it's breakthecodeevent.com. Early bird is still there. So it's going to be incredible, man. I'd love to have you out there as well. If you're in Miami, around Miami, tickets on me for sure.
All day, bro. We'll have to make that happen. I'll go to the website. I think you could be a great speaker at our events as well. We run the Win All Day conference, which is very similar. Personal development combined with how do I win in business, but based around purpose and passion. Amazing. And I think what I like that you said is keeping it small and intimate. One of the things that I've done, and I understood the power in, and I like this about your event, is community, right? You put yourself around other like-minded individuals, the networking. There's a lot of events I went to where from the stage, I might have not got as much as I thought I was going to get, right? Because I study, I research, I still look for the principle, the slight edge. But mostly the event might have just been a networking event, and I built relationships that are lifelong relationships or business endeavors. And so many times we miss that. Just put yourself in the room, put yourself in the right communities to win. Alex, I want you to talk about this real quick. 2 more questions. I know you got to go. Network marketing, bro. Network marketing. There's a lot of skeptics out there, right? Like, do I do it? Do I not do it? What about the guy or the gal that's listening on the other side right now and says, man, I want to create financial freedom. I've tried some things. I don't know what to do. I'm all over the place, but man, he's talking network marketing. I've heard other people into the network marketing. And so what would you say the person is network marketing right for them? And, obviously it's created you the life you live, but it has a really good rap. And then you hear people that dog it. And so I would love to hear from you. Talk to that person that says, I'm on the other side right now. I want to create financial freedom like you, Alex. Is network marketing for me?
Yeah, I would say just look at the people winning in this big personal development branding space. A lot of them got started in network marketing. Jim Rohn was in Herbalife, and Let's WFG, Patrick Bet-David's in an insurance deal as well, right? Ty Lopez said, if I would do it all over again, I would start in network marketing. Grant Cardone's talked openly about network marketing before. So I would say it's a great entry into entrepreneurship. And I tell people all the time, my life's purpose isn't to sell digital education or skincare or vitamin drinks, but that was my segue to create the cash flow I needed. Doing events is expensive. This event in Miami, it's $1 million for me. You know what I'm saying? Like if I get close to breaking even, I'm not doing this to profit. Like it's going to cost me, it's already costing me $1 million to do it. Right. So for me, network marketing was the way to create the cash flow, the relationships, build my name, build my brand and all that to go chase my definite purpose. So for the people on this call, you can go into solar and make money. You can get into real estate and make money. But for me, I believe for the average male or female, 18 to 50 years old, that have a couple $100 to their name, where can they go to learn the principles of success and have an opportunity for maybe not even financial independence, but creating some cash flow? I believe it's network marketing. There are a lot of great companies. There are a lot of trash companies, right? So you have to find something that you believe in, but more importantly, who are you working with? Who are you listening to? And what are their results? That's what I would say. I'm not over here. MLM's the greatest thing on the planet. It can be. It also cannot be. So I think people have to be selective. They got to be careful, but if they can find the right fit, I do believe it's the greatest way and the fastest way to a six-figure income. I do believe that. Yeah. So network marketing is phenomenal if you're with the right people in the right company.
I love it, bro. I love it. Thank you. And so one more question. I know I want to respect your time. So Win All Day, right, is about a couple things, but basically it's about understanding identity, that you were born to win, that you can win, right, and showing up with the self-esteem and confidence. And so a lot of what we do to win obviously comes down to habits and rituals and routines and systems and processes. And so I'm really big, and we coach on looking in the mirror and building the person you need to become in order to create the outcome that you desire to deserve. So we create vision, we create purpose, that's all great, but now you got to take action. And so I would love for you to tell the people listening and watching today, you built this amazing life, right? You're killing it, you're winning. What's some of the habits or the rituals that are non-negotiables for you that you'd say I do every day that drive me to build the Alex Morton that you see in the business and the career, and allows me to show up with this energy and this passion and this purpose to continue to help other people win? What are some of those things, man?
Yeah. For one, prayer and gratitude for sure. You know, when I wake up in the morning, first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, last thing I do before I go to bed, you know, I pray to the universe, I pray to God, and I'm just grateful, you know, for this life, for this opportunity, for freedoms. I just sit there. I don't grab my cell phone. I don't start, you know, getting on Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. I sit there and I think, and I'm grateful, and I get into prayer, right? So that's a non-negotiable for sure. I spend a lot of time on the road. You know, we got a spot in Spain. We're there in the summer. We travel around Turkey a lot. I'm in Asia right now. I go to Thailand in a couple of days, right? So even when I'm traveling at least 5 days a week, I'm trying to do something in the gym. You know, a lot of times it happens to be cardio because I put on music, I put on personal development, and I can kind of just honestly manifest. I get in the gym and everything goes to the side, and I just think about honestly my future. I tell people you want to pre-play your future. You see it in your mind. When you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand, right? So working out, drinking water, you know, talking to family, you know, spending time with my wife and things like that. But then what I really do is to move the needle forward every single day. I use Google Calendar on my phone. You know, people think you need some elaborate, crazy success planner and system, and there's a lot of stuff out there, but sometimes people there's so much stuff going on, they never take action on anything. So if you're in a call center, or you're in real estate, you're in network marketing, you're in insurance, you're in door-to-door sales, put your appointments in your phone, right? And freaking know what you got to do. I'm going to keep it super simple. Before you go to sleep tonight, ladies and gentlemen, know what you have to do tomorrow. That's it. Just that one thing, you should make 30% more income next year, 100%. Don't go to bed tonight without knowing, hey, I know what I got to do tomorrow, right? So I think it's about mind, body, soul, spirit, having a calendar. Like you said, whether it's a coach, whether it's a mentor, you know, for me, a lot of years, man, my mentor was YouTube. My mentor was books. I finally got enough money to go to a UPW event with Tony Robbins. But before that, my mentors, they were from afar. Then I got blessed with Bob Proctor, obviously. But if people are on this call, man, have enough money to afford quote unquote mentorship, that's okay. Listen to this podcast, you know, read my books, go on MILS Instagram. Like there's so many things you can do to grow your mind. So I would say, you know, prepare for success. And when you prepare for success, right, you got to have prayer and gratitude. You got to be working out and training your body. You got to be doing personal development on your mind. I tell people, what are you reading? Who are you listening to? What are you listening to? What are you watching? What are you writing? And my second book's coming out end of the year, right? I tell people, write down your goals until one day you're going to write a book to go inspire millions of people around the planet. And then whatever your main focus business is, do what you need to do to move the needle forward. If you're in sales, you got to prospect people, you got to do presentations, you got to close, you got to onboard, and you got to bust your ass. Nothing will ever substitute you working hard. I've worked hard for over a decade. And I'm telling you, I'm not the smartest, I'm not the brightest, not the best speaker, not the best recruiter. But when it comes to work ethic, man, I know for the last 10 years in my space, nobody has outworked me. And that's it. And that's what causes you to win all day right there.
I love it, bro. I love it. I mean, if you're listening right now and you're part of the Win All Day family and you have the app, The Winning Five, you're speaking our language. We talk about stacking wins, and we have 5 areas we stack wins in. And so, Alex, where can they get the book, your first book? Where can they get the next book? How do they find you, brother?
Yeah, so the first book was called Dorm Room to Millionaire. It's probably on Amazon still for like, I don't know, $5 or $15 or something. It's also on Audible. But what I want people to really, there's one takeaway. It's this Break the Code event. I feel like this event, it's my second ever, like just my event. The first one was in Vegas in 2016. It's like 217 people. It was it wasn't a small room, but it was a smaller level like event, right? This is going to be like a big deal. It's going to be a big deal. I'm bringing in, the best of the best that, I could find through friendships and relationships and stuff like that on a pretty short notice. We launched tickets like 2 weeks ago and the event's in 65 days, but we're going to make it happen anyway. But that's breakthecodeevent.com. And then honestly, Instagram, Alex Morton Mindset. We post something every single day to help you become the best version of yourself, regardless of the business or profession that you're in.
I love it, bro. I love it. We talked about a lot of great things today, a lot of life-changing, principles. I appreciate your time. And I want to say this to the listener, the viewer right now. I think the number one thing I took away that, I'm looking at a man right here that has created a life, but you've created that life by becoming who you are. And so I think the number one thing that like just screws us up a lot of times in life is this identity we suffer with. And so I want to talk to the person right now because I look at Alex and I just see a very confident, certain individual in who he is. And I said that earlier. So many times we're focused. I got to have this. I got to achieve this. I want the outcome. I want the outcome. I want to be rich. I want to be rich. And I look at a guy that just said, I'm going to become this man. I'm going to get in the right rooms. I'm going to be around the right mentors. I'm going to fight to be my best. And all of a sudden I created this life. So if you're listening today, I want you to hear me right now. Number one, you are a product of your past, but don't become a prisoner of it any longer. Make a commitment, like Alex said earlier, to play in the present, to show up every single day and build the best version of you so that you can show up and play all out. No more guilt, no more shame, no more victims, right? Stop cursing, nursing, and rehearsing your past and what happened yesterday, right? Your future is determined by a belief in you and what you do today. So bring back a belief in you. I hope you got that for me as you listen today. See a man that's confident, that's strong at such a young age. You'll never rise higher than the image you carry about yourself. The only thing holding you back right now, I believe, if you're listening, Alex said earlier, is a belief in you. And so today, bring back a belief in you. Listen to this podcast again. Go visit Alex Morton Mindset on Instagram. Get to the breakthecodeevent.com. And let's continue to win and win all day. Alex, is there any last minute thoughts that you want to say to the listeners and viewers, brother?
Yeah, I would just say we're going through some pretty interesting times right now. I've been able to travel a lot over 2022. There's a lot of uncertainty within the world and chaos and wars and, this crazy winter coming to Europe and all these different things. I would tell people, listen, you got to tune out all the negativity and you got to focus on who you are, who you're becoming, and where it is you're going in the world, right? You cannot let the external forces and energies get into your internal temple in peace. You want to stay in a peaceful vibration, and you want to be optimistic about the future, and you want to become obsessed about the things that are important to you in your life. And if you do those things, not only will you make it through this winter, but you will charge into 2023 and you will get to where you want to go by December 31st, 2023. Because I believe next year is going to be the year of separation with a lot of people and a lot of industries, and the people that are prepared for it, you are going to have massive increase in your life. So I'll see you guys in Miami for the Break the Code event. JC, you are the man. Win all day. This has been one of the most, I feel like one of the most fun podcasts I've been on, because your energy is like me, even though it's midnight for me. Like we're both like boom, 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 boom. And a lot of times people are a little more calmer, but me and you really vibe. So I appreciate you, man.
Bro, I can talk to you all day. I love who you are, man. I'm glad we crossed paths. And I would love to end the show on this, man. We do this with all of our guests. If you could just say, I'm Alex Morton. I am a winner. I will win and win all day. I am Alex Morton. I am a winner. I will win and win all day.
I am Alex Morton. I am a winner and I will win all day.
Let's go, baby. Hey, you heard it from my main man right here, Alex Morton. Who loves you? We love you. Guys, I hope that episode blessed you as much as it did me to interview Alex. And I want to remind you one last time, you were born a winner. So go win and win all day.